Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Season 8, Episode 16. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey, to the highest point of the Garden State, cross-continent, to Beverly Hills, back to the nice Mountain View. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Welcome, and crew. Welcome.
Fell asleep. I was reading to my daughter, and I was like, how now, brown cow? And then I woke up, and I was like, oh, my God. And came running out. So couldn't miss it for the world, boys.
I thought you were writing in a paper.
I'm doing that as well. Trust me, I'm juggling 8 different things today. I had to go to a fantasy football thing and listen to some schmuck give a speech for 25 minutes. Scotty was there. And then, all sorts of other fun things. So virtually. Yeah. It's like now. It's like I've seen Scotty on 2 different computers today.
Well, we're nice to have you here during a championship weekend going on here with the NFL. And yes, I see Max already talking about his Eagles and everything like that. So, oh boy.
Yeah. Good for you.
Why are you not out on Broad Street climbing up greased light poles like the rest of
eating horse crap?
Yeah, well, that too.
Are you going to throw snowballs at Santa Claus, Max, because you're so happy?
That's what they do down there. That's what they do in Philadelphia.
Snowballs? I thought it was batteries.
They did
that too.
Batteries.
They did that too.
No, that's what happened to John Rocker.
I was there.
Yeah, but John Rocker deserved it.
Well, John Rocker did deserve it. Whoa, we got Alan is back. Little Fireboy's back in the in the chat. He showed up the other day. So he showed up last night with Sam and I, and then he's back in the chat for the big show. So welcome back, Little Fireboy. It's good to have you back again. Max, we're just gonna ignore all of your Eagles stuff today. Just because we can.
Listen, good for Saquon. That's all I could say.
Yeah, well, you see what happens when you play on an actual grass field? You don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
and when you have a line that can block for you.
When you have a line that can block for you.
And when you have a team that doesn't rely 98% of their offense on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but good for him, man. As a Giants fan, I'm happy for him. The rest of the team, I could care less about, but it's not his fault that he ended up an Eagle. I mean,
yeah. Well, guess what? Now he's an Eagle, so I don't have to like him.
Yeah, true.
Nor will I.
I don't know. My hatred for the Eagles is not like my hatred for the Cowboys. Like my hatred for the Cowboys is more attuned to like my hatred for the Rangers. But the Eagles, I hate them. I really hate the Eagles, but
my hatred from the Eagles comes from having it in my face all over the place down the shore. So it's just annoying to me just to see it. Birds all over the place down the shore. So that's where my hatred comes from, having it shoved down my throat. So, but I saw, I did see that, despite Philadelphia's best efforts to grease all of the light fixtures in the city, those miscreants were still able to climb the light poles along Broad Street. Which, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'll climb something. I'll climb a light pole outside the Prudential Center when the Devils win the Cup. How about that? I'll say that right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm climbing a light pole out there.
Climb that statue in Championship Plaza. Climb the statue in Championship Plaza.
Oh, there we go. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then they'll go right from that to Devils After Dark Championship Edition.
At the top of
the Shorts Guy Arrest
Edition. From the top of the light pole.
Yeah.
On the top of the light pole on Edison Place. To the mobile
It's
command unit out on
to the mobile
Mulberry.
command unit right at the corner of the block. Yeah.
Well, hey,
Oh.
listen, we're in a good mood today.
Lots of news going on out there. You know,
Yeah.
one
Lots.
team in the Metropolitan made quite a big step forward
They
in solidifying themselves as a absolute beast of a team. Although they did lose to the Icelanders yesterday, so that was
True.
nice. But still, what the hell, Carolina?
Carolina really stepping up.
And Taylor Hall. I mean, I know we've mentioned Taylor Hall in here, and we all were like, "Nah, no, thank you." But to see him on, one of our, we can say Carolina's a rival, but one of the the other top teams in the Metropolitan. I would have preferred if he was out west somewhere. I don't need any of that.
Mhm.
We all know how ex-Devils love to try and burn these current day Devils. Taylor Hall hasn't been too lethal against us, but I don't want to give him any more opportunities, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Having anybody go there is not an ideal situation.
But Rantanen and Aho, those two guys together, got a lot of history. Not in the NHL, but just in life in general. Kind of like the guy that we saw yesterday with Montreal, who we know Beer Baron is always wishing could be on our team, Cole Caulfield, and Jack Hughes. That's kind of like Aho and Rantanen there, man. So just a shocker of it. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I was not expecting that to come through.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was, because Nathan McKinnon even said that he was pretty upset about it. He was like, he wasn't expecting it, and to quote him, he said it sucks. And seeing Carolina make that move, Carolina's, they're not shy to make the big move. Carolina's a team that if they want to do it, they're going to get it done. And they shipped a lot out for what could only be a rental, because Rantanen is a free agent at the end of the year. He is asking $14 million a year, which is wow. I mean, you think about that, and then you think about the contract we have with one Jack Hughes, and you think you're lucky stars we have a GM named Thomas Aloysius Fitzgerald.
Well, then he got him signed before all these contracts started going bonkers again.
Yeah, and before Jack really hit it. Yeah, and before Jack hit his prime. I mean, I'm sure Jack Hughes is probably looking at all these things saying, like, come on, like I could be getting north. And when he sees his brother is going to be making more than he is, it's going to be a little sour apples there too. But yeah, it's listen, should that make us nervous? Yeah. You got one of your biggest rivals and one of your biggest contenders who just loaded up. We have a couple of injuries that are going on right now that are not ideal at the same time. But at the same time, last two games, the Devils have righted the ship a little bit. And I have faith.
They got the flock.
They're moving in the right direction.
They're moving. They're going in the right direction. They
had like too much wool, and they just shaved them down a little bit,
and they sheared. It's called shearing.
They sheared them.
Ed Sheeran.
They're bobbing and weaving again. They're making some magic.
Yeah. Do you think Ed Sheeran's parents had something to do with sheep when he was younger? But anyways, yes, they.
Such a dad joke.
It is.
It really is.
But it also begs the question, because it also, there's been a lot of rumors of the Devils going after JT Miller, and if that's going to come to fruition or if it's going to be something else. So I don't know. Shorts guy, the one thing that I have a question for you is I just read something that Nico Dawes is playing in back-to-back games for the Utica Comets. There's also talk that they're going to bring him up within the next couple of games because Markstrom's going to be out 4 to 6.
Yeah.
The type of injury that Markstrom has, and I know I just kind of jumped from one subject to the other, but I've been like kind of itching at the bit or biting at the bit or whatever the hell to get to this question for you. The injury that he has, do you think that is a realistic timeline for him to come back? And in your opinion, being a goaltender, is that something that he's going to be able to work through, or is this something that like you're going to have to baby him almost like a backup when he gets back and until he gets, starting reps?
So, coming from my own experience, I've never sprained my knee, at least, officially to my knowledge, but I have sublexed my kneecap multiple times, which is where the kneecap pops out of place and snaps back into place. It's quite painful. I've also had my knee lock up on me while I was playing, which is also quite painful. And the only thing that ever really did well for that injury was rest, and excuse me, and then just bracing it up and taping it up and all kinds of stuff. Now he's got all of the best sports medicine available to him, sports therapists, physical therapists, and all that stuff. So my guess is it's going to be a lot of rest and light reps for right now. I would not be surprised if it was a little bit longer into the 6-week time frame versus the 4, because a knee is a funny thing, especially with the way he plays. He's very quick motions. He's very left to right, and he's a very reactive goalie. I think 6 weeks is more conducive to that time frame than 4. But if we look at our schedule, that the tournament, and we've spoken about this in the past, wondering what it was going to be like, what happens if he gets hurt in that tournament. Well, that tournament's now out the door for him. So if we look at it, we have this
100%.
week, last week of February would be week 1, or last week of January, excuse me, is week 1. Week 2, there's nothing week 2 and 3 except for that Dallas game. 2, 3, 4, week 3 and 4, excuse me. Week 5 starts the Nashville West Coast swing. If he goes on that trip out west from Nashville to Colorado to Utah to Vegas to Dallas, we'll know he's close. But if he stays home, then we'll know it's not that close. So, but after that, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of a 50-50 split between him and Jake Allen for the first, because we're looking in March. We've got, game day off, game day off, game day off, game off, game off. So there's a lot of games coming thick and heavy in March. I would not be shocked to see for the first time, first little bit that he comes back, Markstrom, Allen. The knee is funny. Sometimes it heals a little bit quicker though. We saw Ovechkin come back from a broken leg in 4 weeks. That's a broken bone.
Record time.
Yeah, record time. So I don't know. It's all a matter of what they're going to have him do, and I'm sure they've got the best people on it, because the Devils management knows just as well as we know, and the rest of the Devils fans out there know that he is the key to this season doing well. So I would say in the neighborhood of the late, like I said, closer to that 6-week time frame, especially if if we go through this time period and Jake Allen does well. I could definitely see it, taking the time to just get it right, because the playoffs are going to be a long slog, assuming we go through it, pretty deep into it. But it's going to be, I wouldn't be shocked to see when he came back for the first week or two that he gets days off from practice. Being able to, they're going to test him out. Is he going to be able to play his edges? Is he going to move left to right when he's down? That injury was kind of scary. I originally thought maybe it could be like a 2-week thing, but they said 4 to 6. So maybe they're just being generous too. But yeah, a knee is one of those things you need them. And you have to have that full range of motion.
I think we'll see once he gets into once the rehab program starts. That's where you'll see. And I think Shorts guy's correct too. I think they're going to be cautious with him, because the idea is to have him for the playoff run. With the 4 nations, built in here, it's actually a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
We luck out there.
That we have all that off time, but then like you were saying, all of a sudden the games do become rapid fire because of that break. So I think actually the more important thing is where we also lucked out is this is going to give Jake Allen a lot more readiness when that rapid fire does come, because we know
Good stuff.
Markstrom is able to play and wants to play a lot of games in a row, but with the injury, as you were saying, it's smart to go slow with him there, but he's going to get ample opportunity to get back up into that, quote unquote midseason form, because the way the games are structured there. But it's important also to have Jake Allen, set, ready to rock and roll, and like, here we go, instead of just, oh, I'm going to get 5 games off now because Markstrom wants to play all the time. Like, it's better to get him going in a groove, which we're going to have to see here now with Marky down for these next 6 weeks.
Wait, breaking news. Steven Angle.
Yeah.
I agree with you. He just said, you mean trade Dawes and Mercer and Nemec for Kachuk. Yeah, buddy. Bring me Brady Kachuk or bring me death.
And I'm curious, too, if I'm sure we're going to see Dawes and Poulter play because the Devils are going to be looking at their backup just in case, something happens. But at the same time, the trade deadline is March 7th. And if there's a setback with Markstrom, they're going to have to do something and bring someone else in, which is a possibility as well. Potentially they're bringing up Dawes and Poulter to kind of showcase them too right now, because they have that opportunity to do so before the trade deadline.
Yes,
Max, we know. Also, I know somebody was asking in the chat before, and it was probably answered. But if Allen plays 40 games, then that pick that we give to Montreal goes from a third to a second. So it is kind of like, what are we going to do? That kind of situation it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't think they're going to be like, well, we can't play him, and then just start playing Dawes a bunch of games.
Stupid.
You go with the experience. You go with Allen. If it costs you a second instead of a third, then it costs you a second instead of a third. So that's just about that. To be honest with you, the Devils are in a spot where this, like you guys just said it, the Four Nations and this break is coming at the perfect time. Hopefully it gives Markstrom enough time to rest up and then get back. And then, Shorts guy, that tandem of going back and forth, and Scotty pointing out all this work that Allen's going to get right before this break. It could be a blessing in disguise as well, because then you can go and you can have a 1A, 1B situation. But we also have other injuries that are going on. We have stomach bugs that are going on. This team has been battling for the last, week and a half, some kind of bug that's been flying through the room. And apparently Nico Hischier is going to be day-to-day, according to Sheldon Keefe yesterday. And
well,
Jack
that has
Hughes
nothing to do with the... That has nothing to do with the flu bug. Yeah, that's
no. It has nothing to do with the flu bug, but I'm just saying, right now they seem to be going through it. So, like I said a couple weeks ago, this is the time, if we're going to have some kind of swoon that they just went through. Hopefully that was it. Get that out of the system and move on. But this is this break is going to be nice, because this team is going to hopefully get themselves together, get rested up, and get ready for that second half push.
Let's put it this way, real quick. Going back to that Jake Allen playing 40 games. He's played 16 so far, and there's 30 left. There's 30 left in the season. So if Jake Allen actually hits 40 games played, Markstrom's injury is worse than we thought.
Yeah.
So let's put that one to rest, because we
Is
don't
there really only 30 games left?
It's about 31, 32 that I just counted. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Shorts guy, I was just looking up the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, we need some math here. I'm not a big fan of math.
All right, well, good. Man, a big collective. Woo.
Yeah,
right,
this
good.
seems like
we don't have to worry about that.
If Jake Allen gets to 40 games, we have bigger problems. And that's Markstrom not coming back. And he would be playing the lion's share of those games. And there's a couple back-to-back games here.
And Poulter and Dawes incredibly crashed on their faces out there.
Poulter and Dawes playing 8 games total between the two of them, which I don't see. So, I don't think we really have to worry about that. And really, it's kind of an inconsequential thing, because if Jake Allen's got to play 40 games, I don't think management's going to be like, oh, nope. We've got 5 games left, and Jake Allen's on 39. He has to sit. There's no way Fitzgerald would do that.
And real quick, I know there was somebody that asked. I think it might have been our good friend Max. Did you get a chance to check out our boy Big Mike down in BU? His debut for BU. Which, by the way, I love that Jay Pandolfo is his coach. I think that's kind of awesome. But Yegorov, I think he stopped 23 of 22 shots, and it looks pretty solid in doing it. So I don't know if you got a chance to check out any of those highlights.
I didn't, but I saw he got a 2-minute penalty for his rookie lap or something like that. I was right before I came on. I was reading all that. There's a whole big explanation of that, but that 2-minute penalty wound up costing BU pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to try to check him out. Playing with BU and with the college season, kind of coming to a close. I know the Bean Pot, I think, is this coming weekend. Or it's either this weekend or next weekend, so that'll be something interesting to see. And then if he gets any more games, but yeah, I hope he does well. We'll see what this kid can do, and I'm all about the college hockey experience because I did it myself, and it's a lot of fun. And he's playing in one of the best programs in the nation, playing up there for BU. Playing Max's backyard. So Max is we'll probably get a little bit of inside information from Max when he's able to go up and check him out live and in person.
Alrighty. Well, we were talking about before we kind of drastically turned avenues here was all the trade that's going on with Rantanen there and Taylor Hall going to Carolina. So there have been a lot of rumors out there with the Devils. Some of them I think are just pure smoke. Some of them I think have some credibility. But another thing that I've seen pop up is the idea that Fitzy is looking to sign Jonathan Kovacevic to a long-term deal, who was someone I think a lot of people might be wondering if he was going to get packaged in somewhere because he's had so much impressive play. And he might be an ideal candidate for a number of teams. I think Montreal might be second guessing, their moves with him last year. But obviously with the Devils' depth, even though Simone Nemec pissed away his chances of coming to the NHL this year because he had to go run his mouth. But
I don't think that's going to cost him.
Yeah. If I was a GM, I'd be like, rookie, know your place. You want to go and talk to the newspapers? Then you're going to go and sit in the AHL. Then you're definitely not coming up because you're not mature enough to do that. So that's some in-house stuff. That's to me, that's not something a rookie should be doing. Not even a rookie, a prospect.
Apparently, though, he was kind of baited into that question. So I know Fitzgerald's smart enough to actually look at it and probably, I'm sure his phone rang, not Fitzy's, but Nemec's phone rang the next day and was it was, said Tom Fitzgerald. And he was probably like, oh, no.
Well, Fitzy is shot down. Anyone that has been
like just seen the number pop up, like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like that.
But he has shot down the idea that the Devils are, out there shopping him. That is not the case. I'm sure I'm sure if someone approached Tom about something, he's going to listen. But right now, Simone Nemec is deemed as untouchable. But it's very interesting to hear, some rumors about. I mean, I think it would be a smart move, but again, the Devils have a lot of defensive prospects. Kind of in that system there. So signing Kovacevic, where I think that would be a good idea. I love the size. I love the grit. I love the penalty killing, the shot blocking. But it kind of clogs up that system a little bit when you got Dylan, you got Pesci, you obviously have Dougie, long term. So would possibly, another defenseman get moved because we know the Devils, they need to increase that bottom six scoring. It's something that we've heard about all year long. And there are a number of names out there. I know people always say JT Miller. I don't think that one has any credibility. Tom Fitzgerald himself said he hasn't, talked to Vancouver about any player, let alone JT Miller. But we've talked about it here. You got a Brock Nelson out there. You got a Scott Lawton down there in Philly. You got a Ryan O'Reilly. Where the hell is he now? Nashville. Mm-hmm. You got Jake Evans, who we just saw up there in Montreal. Damn it. There was a couple other guys, too, that I had in my head now I can't think of. But there's a number of people out there that would be, good fits for this Devils team. Ryan O'Reilly. Oh, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw this thing where they were talking about Yanni Gourde from Seattle as well. But isn't he injured? I think. I don't know.
That's a good question.
But
I don't know.
Brock, Ryan O'Reilly, Scott Lawton, Jake Evans. These are all, names that are out there. With the move by Carolina, do you guys feel it's actually we have to go out there and do something? It's not this would be good. We're looking, we're going to add some depth. But with this move by Carolina, because if you're going to go far in the playoffs, you're probably going to have to go through them or play them at one point or another. Is this now like a must do? Like Fitzy must go out there and make some sort of deal.
Yeah. You look at the issues that this team has in their bottom six with scoring. Yes, of late, Tatar's been picking up a couple. I know Cotter's put in a few in the last couple of weeks. But the inconsistency of that bottom six, and then being able to possibly even bring somebody into that top six that could be a scorer. Now, it's all about the cost. It's all about what is it going to cost this team to be able to do it? How are they going to be able to, manipulate the cap or have a little bit of wiggle room? I know they have some room to make a move, but they're probably going to have if they're going to go after somebody that's able to put up numbers, they're probably going to have a team that's going to be able to retain some of that money. Chicago, I think Chicago. How do you think Bedard feels like looking at? He looks on the paper and he sees oh, we got Rantanen, and you're like, no, you don't. You only have $5 million of his weird cap. But so
they are the new Arizona.
Oh,
new
God.
Arizona, the Chicago Cuckhawks.
They're terrible. Yeah, but I feel like they need to get a little help in that bottom six. They need to get. I would love for them to get somebody that can provide a little help on the wing for Jack, and then be able to put Jesper back with Nico, because I feel like Nico and Jesper Bratt work so well together. Bratt really works well with anybody, but their dynamic is.
They just did move.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Line shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying
saw
keep
what happened.
Him there. Yeah.
Keep him there. Exactly. And you saw the results of him being there. So, I think they need to. If he doesn't, I wouldn't be shocked. Fitzy's super smart. And who knows what happens at the end of the AHL season, because Gritsuk, I don't know if you can bring him over to the U.S. towards the end of the season. Maybe he's that spark that the team needs. Maybe he comes to North America and is able to do something. So who knows? I hope he does, but we'll see.
Okay, and Brooke, we're not talking about trading with Chicago. We're making Chicago the third team in here so they can retain the whole bunch of money, a la what they did in the
like
Colorado.
What Arizona used to do. With the bankers. They're the bankers.
Because I think that's what everyone was just like, wait a minute, this is a 3-team trade? What the hell did the Blackhawks get in this situation here? It's like,
nothing.
Yeah, they got like a fifth round.
They literally they paid $5 million to get a third-round pick, is essentially what they did.
They paid $5 million to trade Taylor Hall. That's what happened there.
It's so stupid. They could have waited until the trade deadline and gotten rid of Hall and gotten probably a third rounder for him. But whatever. That's Chicago.
Yeah. And yes,
Gritsuk,
Tom,
apparently
right.
Tom said Gritsuk he can't come over at all this year.
No. No,
Yeah,
he can't.
damn
this
it.
year.
All right, well, there goes that idea.
Let's just put it this way with Fitzy. I think Carolina is setting the standard now for what to do pre-trade deadline. They've made a massive move. I don't think that he has to, kind of like what Beer Baron said. It would be nice if he brought something in, but he's only going to bring in whatever's going to work. So I don't think it's necessary. But we do have to bolster up that bottom six. But if it's not going to fit with the team and it's not going to fit within the budget, I don't think he's going to break the bank to do it unless we got someone like Eric Halla, who I haven't seen an update on his injury. Maybe Fitzy
He's been
goes
skating.
and plays. And I was going to
He's
say
been
maybe
skating.
Fitzy finally goes and plays the LTIR thing. That we've always seen everyone else do. But I think he's going to make the right move. And he's not going to make a move just to make a move. But Carolina is absolutely setting the standard for what's going to have to be done. I could see someone like those blue jerks across the river making a hair trigger trade just to keep up with the Joneses or the Carolinas or whatever, however you want to say it with this. I can see them saying, "Oh, we're going to trade blah blah blah," and like start doing what they did with Kane and bringing him in for a useless 15 games. But I don't think we absolutely have to unless we need to.
Well, I think if Nico's ends up being out, I don't think he will, but if he ends up being out long term, then I think they will do something. But I think it's almost like a definite now that Fitzy's got to acquire,
something.
One of the players that we were talking about or someone in that line, I'm sure there's others out there that I didn't mention, but those teams to be the ones where the teams are kind of floundering there a little bit. I don't think the Islanders, the Preds have struggled, so mightily at the beginning of the year. That's where Ryan O'Reilly is. The Flyers, Scott Lawton, he's a good player for them, but Flyers would take a lot to
trading in division. I don't know if that's going to happen.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot to trade in division. I mean,
if it's
hasn't happened. We traded
like that. Yeah, it's happened before.
We traded with the Rangers, crying out loud, but I mean, still.
I feel like we have trades with the Flyers. I mean, it's only been a couple with
the Islanders. We've done a few with the Islanders. When we were out of it, and we were sending over a few players that Andy Green, Travis Zajac, a few guys, Paul Mary. So we've made
the same kind of situation here, where Brock's on the last year. I think it's his last year of his contract. He's going to be UFA.
Yeah, I think it is.
Hey, here's a shot to go win a cup. Kind of like what we did with Travis Zajac. The Islanders had that good year. They were looking, like they could make a run. Send him over there, try to get him a cup. So I don't know. There's that potential there, but I don't see the JT Miller happening. But Jake Evans up in Montreal, he's having a breakout year, and he's also a UFA. And he's probably going to look for some money.
So,
that might be someone. Him and Brock Nelson, you might be able to get more for like some draft picks. Definitely Jake Evans. Brock will probably cost you a prospect too, but
I'll tell you what. Anyone within the Eastern Conference, it's going to be tough because looking at the standings right now. I hate to burst your bubble, Beer Baron, but Ottawa's in a playoff spot in 56
I know.
Yeah.
But right behind them, tied with them at 56 points within the same division, is Boston, and 1 point behind them is Tampa.
Is
Tampa with 55. And then Columbus is 55, which, they're only 7 points behind us. Montreal has 53. So Montreal really is spitting distance from a playoff spot. The Rangers have 52. Detroit has 51. Philly has 50. So I think our best options
and the Islanders are below that.
The Islanders are below that, but only at 49. So it really, between a playoff spot and a non-playoff spot, the furthest distance we're looking at 14 points, and that's Buffalo. Everyone else is within 7 points of that final playoff spot, which we've seen the Devils have our recent slide. 4 games one way, another team swings 4 games in another way. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that anything that he's going to do, as far as Fitz, as far as bringing someone in, is Fitzy's going to have to look out west. to those teams like the Nashvilles, even Vancouver's at 52. Like I know they have strife with Miller, but they're right outside of the playoff spots too. It's going to be someone from probably Seattle on down to the.
Well, I mean,
how many points
also
does Seattle
here
have right now?
Seattle is 47, so they're only 8 points out of a playoff spot.
But there's also, Jay Snow is saying here that, Montreal's fighting for a playoff spot. Yeah, that's true. But Jake Evans is an unrestricted free agent. And if they know they're not going to re-sign him because he's going to be asking for too much money, they are going to try and move him so they can get some sort of picks and prospects for him. That's what that whole situation is. Because Jake Evans is having a breakout year. Luckily for him, it's in his walk year. So he's going to get a nice raise. If Montreal doesn't feel like they're going to foot the bill for him, they're going to move him for something. Unless you just let him walk for nothing,
Can I ask a question about Jake Evans? Is this one of those anomaly years? Is this one of those like he's having a breakout year because A, it's it's his contract year, but B, he's just having a good year, or is this what he can be and will be? The problem that I have with guys that are having quote unquote breakout years is sometimes it's a flash in the pan, and then you go out and you get them, and then they don't produce the way that you need them to produce, and then you're like, well, damn, now we're stuck with them.
Well, so, again, he's a free agent, so if he really doesn't pan out, then then that's the risk of trading for any UFA. So, but I mean, I'm pulling up his stats right here. He's gradually gotten better and better, and you saw the other night, against the Devils. I mean, he was paired up against Nico most of the night, and you heard his name, pretty often throughout the game. So let me just get over here to his stats. Come on there, ESPN. So, was a rookie in 1920, and the season's not the actual
1920.
year, right?
Damn, he's been
1920. Holy hell!
My mind went to 1920, but that's the history guy in me.
Yeah. So his first season, he only played 13 games. He had 3 points, Second season, 47 games, 13 points. Then third season, 72 games. He had 29 points, 13 goals, 16 assists.
So he's
22, 23. What's that?
No, keep going. 22,
so
23.
23, it was kind of a little bit of a regression for him because he only had 2 goals, 17 assists in 54 games. Then last year, plays a full season. He's got 7 goals, 21 assists, 28 points. He was a -1, and he can take some faceoffs, and he's also got a steady number of hits. I don't know which. Damn, I can't find that stat right here. This year, he's got 49 games played, 25 points already. He's a +5. He's got 11 goals and 14 assists. So you can see,
who's his line mates?
He's a third line. He's a third line center. I can't remember who was on third line with in Montreal over there. It's not Slafkovsky, I know that. It's not Cole Caulfield. So he's producing.
Or Suzuki.
Or Suzuki, yeah. He's producing. He has like, the last I looked, I think he was around like 68 hits or 69, 70 hits. So, he's physical. He's tough to play against, and he's got speed. So, what's he, 28 years old? Seems like someone who just kind of started a little late there, but is figuring it out now here in his sixth season.
I'm watching the same thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There was a flag. It's going to be. It's not going to be for the Bills. Sorry, Bills just had the ball 4th and 5. They're down by 3.
Yeah. No, it's man. Anyway,
Yep.
Fitzy's going to make the right move, whatever it is. And he's going to be talking to anyone and everyone in order to get the best inside information on whoever it is that he's going to bring in. You want someone that's motivated.
Yeah, and here's another thing. Jake Evans, he's over 50% in the face-off circle as a third line center. And then you look at his hit totals. His hit totals, are around like 80 or 80 to 90 a year. We got 79, 88. The season that he only played those, whatever the games was, he had 27. Last year he had 86. Now he's at 66 hits on the season. 29 block shots. Last year he had 65 block shots. Dude's winning face-offs. He's blocking shots. Upside. He's hitting people. Yeah. And he's
doing the dirty
stuff. Yeah, and he's having his best goal season. His best goal season was 13, so he's at 11 already.
Okay.
Is this going to be a one and done?
He's like a Paul Cotter kind of guy. Similar to a Paul Cotter.
He's a third line center.
Yeah,
he's a third line center. Yeah, which is exactly what we've been, calling for. So, does that, because right now we got Dowling in there. When Halla comes back, Halla can play wherever. You can even put him down to the fourth line at some points as well. With Lazar and, I don't know if you're going to keep Bastion in there or Tatar in there. And everyone says Tatar is hot right now, but he got like 5 goals on the year? So,
I didn't say
Tatar is working hard.
He's working hard,
he's
but
working hard.
they need. But what is this team needs finish? Look at Timo Meier. I know Timo Meier is working hard, but he's got 14 goals on the season. And that's not good. I mean, I know he's gotten 3 assists in the last 2 games since the line shuffle. Okay, but we need him to put the puck in the net. I mean, you look at his shooting percentage right now; it is abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we're paying a pretty penny there.
He's doing everything you need him to do except for scoring. He's using his size. He's driving play. He was integral to
the first thing on the list, though. That's the first thing on the list.
The most important thing that we need him to do. That'd be like having a goaltender where you're like, he's great, except he can't stop the puck. Like it's He's doing what he needs to do, but he needs to start freaking scoring.
Yeah.
And I said that a couple weeks ago. I said, Timo Meier, I love the dude. I would like to hear it. Give me fuel, give me fire every time I'm at the Rock. I would love to see that dude just light it up again. And he's got it in him. And he's
getting good opportunities, but he's just not finishing.
Yeah. He's got his chances, and he's been. When you're in that type of when you're in that type of streak to where you're just unable to score, it's the most frustrating thing. Like it's incredible how annoying it is for you. You want to score, and he's putting in the effort, and eventually the floodgates are going to open with him. And we're all gonna be like, yes, this is the guy that's making this money, that's signed for this long term. We just got to stick with him with it because he's not going anywhere. First off, but at some point those floodgates are going to open and things are going to start to go in, and it's going to be a good time when that happens.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you can see the hustle.
It's gotta.
You can see he's working hard along the boards. I think the shift to the third line there has actually been a really good thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever it is, he just can't seem to finish right now. Just can't get the puck actually in the net. It's getting good opportunity after good opportunity. He set up who was it? Was it Mercer? 2 days ago, like twice he was in on that play, that Mercer's 2 goals. Of course he pushed the puck forward to Jack last night for that, overtime breakaway. And then he boxed out whoever Montreal was trying to get back. He boxed him out of the play, which is smart by him as well, to make sure they don't speed by him. So that was, that's good heads up hockey sense right there. It's just, we need him just to get that
just finish.
In the damn
just
net.
Finish.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. Mercer, when he is with him, benefits the most. Mercer needs that type of player. Mercer needs the guy that's going to drive the net. Mercer needs so him and Timo works wonders together. Oh, get him. This game's over, man. I am not watching the Super Bowl this year. I am not watching Chiefs Eagles. I am not watching Chiefs Eagles. This sucks. Sorry, Buffalo.
Yeah.
God. Sorry, I just have to say I'm
tired
goddamn Chiefs
of
Eagles. Now I have to root for the Chiefs again.
ugh.
Oh,
I don't
my
want the Chiefs to
God.
win. I'm tired of the Chiefs winning. This is, one of the things that's good about. So we're for those of us that are going to be listening after the fact. Everyone live
right.
sees us watching the NFL game right now. One of the things that I'm happy about the NHL is that we don't get this kind of crap in the NHL where we've got the same 3-4 teams that are in it every single year.
Unless it's an outdoor game.
Well,
That's very.
I'm talking
it's
about
Rangers Bruins 4-5. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. But we don't get this
outdoor
kind of
at Prospect Park now. The last place we
Yeah.
haven't actually played an outdoor game.
Oh my gosh. Just one of the good things about our league is we don't get this kind of crap where you get, someone like the Chiefs who are just getting everything. And, AJ said it in the chat. If that last play on Jake Allen was Patrick Mahomes, it would have been a flag on the Bills, and it would have been a first down and a reset. But whatever, it's in our league in the NHL. Yeah, in the NHL, like anyone can beat anyone. It's not these juggernaut teams. Like a lot of the other
there
sports.
is parity. There is parity, which is nice.
There's parity in the league. We complain when the Devils lose to like the likes of the Ducks and the Sharks, which we should because we want to see our team win. But the fact that those teams can beat a team like the Devils, they can beat a team like Colorado. You know what?
Yeah.
It sucks when it's your team on the losing end of that, but it's great for the league when those teams are able to do that. The Jets weren't going to beat the Chiefs at all this year. The Giants were going to beat the Chiefs.
I mean, yeah. Jets aren't going to beat anything.
Jets,
come on.
But the Jets of the Jets of the NHL, whoever you want to say would be the Jets of the NHL, could beat the good teams in the NHL. So look at that. We've made football relevant in this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, we do have the king of the football call, Sam Wu. So trust me, football is relevant in this podcast. Yeah.
You guys missed it. Scotty, you especially. We had, for the first time last night, an instantaneous football call on our first ever WooCast last night.
On the WooCast, okay.
On the WooCast, we had an instantaneous, in-the-moment football call because Dougie Hamilton got an assist in the first period. And Samu had to go because it was our first beta testing of the WooCast. The handoff.
Oh, there he is.
From me to Sam. The handoff from me to Sam was a little bit wonky, but
you didn't have to check in with Mrs. Wu on it. You should have.
No, I did. Mrs. Wu. Oh, Mrs. Wu sent me a text message.
She gave the okay.
Mrs. Wu. She gave the okay. But it was the first ever instantaneous WooCast or instantaneous football call on the WooCast last night.
Oh my God!
I hate football. Hate the Eagles.
Yep.
Hate Kansas City. Hate Taylor Swift.
Sam, I thought you would actually be happy.
Hate Ohio State.
I thought Sam would be happy that the Eagles won because we know who owns the Redskins. Commanders. So I know who Sam Wu I thought would be rooting for, and his former Penn State running back.
Yeah. Sam has an allegiance to the Giants, and he doesn't break that allegiance, and that's one thing I respect.
Just
the one thing.
It's not Saquon's fault. It's just I don't know how that GM still has a job.
He should be fired.
Yeah.
He should be fired.
I think it's New Jersey employment law that prevents him being fired. That's what I think. We were talking about before.
Yeah, we were talking.
So, going back to the Devils, I mean, we have. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have 6 games remaining until the break, right? Until the Four Nations break. You have Allen probably playing 4 out of those 6. Would you agree to that?
4 out of the 6? With the way the schedule is set up right now,
Actually,
I would say
let's take a
absolutely
look.
but I know that there's some space in between some of those games. So I know it's Philly is Monday, Wednesday this week, and then I don't think we play again until Montreal on 1:00 on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we play
So
Philly tomorrow.
I don't.
Philly
I
on
wouldn't be
Wednesday.
surprised to see Jake Allen playing all 3 games this week, and then even the week after, going into the Four Nations, I think it's like game, day or two off, game, day or two off. It wouldn't shock me to see Jake Allen play all 6 of those games because I don't think any of them are back-to-backs. If my memory serves me correct, which we all know doesn't always do that.
So I
'Cause who do you play Poulter against? Buffalo, maybe.
maybe
Maybe. Well, no,
maybe Philly in one
because
of the games.
that's the back-to-back. That's the back-to-back. Is that a back-to-back? No, because there's no game on Saturday. No, so maybe Poulter or Dawes sees Buffalo. But then you got Pittsburgh, day off, Vegas, day off, Montreal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, if this, maybe you see Allen for 5 out of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Either way, the way Allen plays, I feel like the Devils need to score 3 to 4 goals a game in order to win. I like Jake Allen, but he's not gonna have like he's gonna let up at least 2. That's what it feels like. I don't know. I just hope that the scoring prowess of Jack and I see Sam smiling about something.
It's because you have 2 girls that may be in Girl Scouts and you don't like Jake Allen. You could just admit it.
No, my girls are not in Girl Scouts because of you.
Oh,
I got the letter in the mail. The letter in the mail.
All right.
The dagger on the door.
Just trying to develop a conspiracy theory. That's all.
No.
Watch out.
Listen,
Watch
I
out.
want
Brooke
Jake Allen to
Amanda
do good.
does lead a Girl Scout troop. She could send them after Sam, which I believe she's working on.
Yeah, I want Jake Allen to do good for obvious reasons, but like the Devils need depth scoring. So the whole reason I brought up this, and the whole reason I brought up like how many games left and whatever, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that you're going to see any kind of move in the next 6 games. But, and I'm not 100% sure if there's like a no movement, whatever freeze on the NHL during the Four Nations tournament.
I believe there is.
I
believe there is.
You believe there is. Do you see within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, somebody coming into the fold? I know we talked about a trade before.
Goaltender-wise?
Who they could trade for. No, not goaltender-wise. Just like
player-wise.
Player-wise, because as we were talking about it before, and as Scotty was throwing some names out there, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's interesting. Like the wheels are turning in my head.
Didn't I just ask you that question like 20 minutes ago?
No. Yes. I'm just rehashing something. Just so as I'm saying.
So let me ask you the same question you just said.
Put it in shapes and colors for him. And he'll be good.
I was watching a Bills game. I was clearly not paying attention to
you. Yeah, clearly. So I actually want to kind of. I kind of want to talk to you about that, Beer Baron, saying that the Devils got to score, 2 or 3 or whatever per. So, I'm not even going to look at because the first goal the Canadiens scored was a good goal. So, I'm gonna look at the second and third. The second goal all started because of a missed cross check on Nico Hischier, which caused the giveaway.
Yes, caused the outman run.
And I'm going to be totally honest. Having that player to your blocker side to the right stop like he did to snow Jake Allen, completely cover him with snow, it's not part of the play, and I'm sure it was done on purpose. It's distracting enough to where that can screw you up. So that's one of those things that it's like, would Markstrom have been able to handle that better? We don't know, because that's one of those situations where it's like, that's someone, that guy should have been cross-checked to the ice, and he should have been looking up at the lights, as far as I'm concerned. But that third goal was a complete screen. No one's stopping that. Markstrom not stopping that. Jake Allen's not stopping that. Shorts guy's not stopping that. That's for damn sure. So could the Devils have won? Could the Devils have won that game 3-1? They absolutely could have. But I Jake Allen's the reason why the Devils were still in that game in the third period.
Fair enough. Do you know who that screen was? Do you know who the screen was in the third?
I'm trying to remember. I recognized it at the time. It was
Jake Evans.
I thought there was a Devils screen in two in front.
There was.
Devils
They were covering. They were covering Evans. I think it was Kovacevic. I think it was either Kovacevic or Siegenthaler, I believe.
Might have been one of the two. Yeah. But
it was Jake Evans in front of the net there.
Yeah. It's so. Let's see what Philly brings. We've seen Jake Allen let in a lot, but I got to imagine this team's going to kind of tighten up a little bit defensively, and knowing that they have to change their game without Jacob Markstrom there. Like, they know they're going to have to play differently. They know they're going to have to tighten up on D, because that's just the nature of the game. Like, they have to do it. But I don't know if Markstrom is. Maybe Markstrom stops the second, but that second goal shouldn't have happened anyway. If the refs would have been, on the game and saw that cross check, which led right to it, So I couldn't just let you say that and not throw in my 2 cents about that.
No.
Your goalie card would have got revoked. Yeah,
I know. Goalies,
Chico would have found out.
To steal the phrase from Shorzy, goalies are weird, and goalies will all stick together no matter what you do. But goalies sure are weird. That was the coolest thing. That was the coolest thing sitting next to the Devils bench was watching what Jake Allen did in between the whistles. When he would come to the bench, like, it was the same thing every single time. It's just, I love watching all those little stupid intricacies of my kind, the weirdos.
Of my kind.
Well, I believe we're getting to the old final thoughts portion here of the show. But that's a good one to be. It's gonna be a main talking point for this team. For the next couple of weeks here is the play of Jake Allen. So it's good that he's a veteran and he can handle the spotlight.
And if we look at maybe I'll parlay that into my 2-part final thought. If you look at that game he played against Philly when he lost, he didn't lose us that game. The Devils just couldn't score because Jake Allen played really well, and I can tell you that because it was right in front of us where Brooke Amanda and I were sitting. He was right there. He played very, very well. The Devils just got beaten by a team that clogged up the middle, and the Devils couldn't penetrate. That was the game, Scotty, that you did. I did Devils After Dark for you, and you and Sam were all frustrated because the Devils only had 13 shots on goal. That was a team failure, not a Jake Allen failure. And he's had too many games like that where the team has failed in front of him.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And when the team fails in front of you, you can only do so much. And I think I've said this before, to where if the team's not scoring for you, sometimes you get a little uptight, and you wind up letting in a goal or two that shouldn't go in. So I have faith in Jake Allen. It's the team that's going to have to change their game in front of him. The second part of my final thought is, look what I have in front of me, right next to me.
Oh, sexy mama. Whoa.
Gonna have to get a new graphic over here.
I know.
The original graphic in the corner, Sam Wu.
That's on the graphics department.
I didn't realize it was the original design with the jersey, the captaincy on there and everything.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
And it'll be good to see our good friend Max this week at the game. So I'm looking forward to that. Sam, did you just send that to our group so we can push it or no?
I was.
Or do you want to do
the
that?
end. I'll push it in the end.
Nice.
All right, my final thought will be just remember. First off, congratulations to the Devils because they're the first team in history to win 9 straight games in Montreal. Against the Canadiens. So congratulations to them. But just remember, I know this is a little tidbit we brought up I don't know, a couple games ago. Except for the game when Jacob Markstrom got hurt, the Devils have not pulled their goaltender the entire season. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about Jake Allen and the confidence that you're going to have in him. Even in some of those games that he didn't get shell-shocked and give up 5 goals in the first period,
Yeah.
Pull as in swap out. Pull as in swap out.
Yeah, Markstrom or Allen have not been pulled this entire season.
When you said pull goalie, I'm thinking the end of a game in a third.
No.
Pull the goalie. You mean switch the goalie? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Every Devils goaltender that started ended the game except for the game that Jacob Markstrom got hurt.
Yep.
So
even that game against Tampa.
I know everyone was
a little
nervous,
losing
but
their mind about.
Allen has not played that bad. He's played very well for a backup goaltender.
No, he has played well. He's just gotten bad breaks.
Is this your final thought or is this my final thought over there? Huh?
Oh, you let Shorts guy jump in there, but as soon as I do there.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow. Somebody's panties are in a bunch.
Wow.
I think I'm just going to have a beer here and just watch this.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So just remember that when you're out there watching Jake Allen, or maybe you're getting a little nervous about him as well. He has played well this season, but I get the excitement over the idea of Markstrom possibly being out long term. But I have faith in Jake the Snake. Now I'm finished.
Yep,
I'm finished. There will be blood
Paging
style.
Paging and crew.
Sam's never seen There Will Be Blood, so I don't get him. I wouldn't expect him to get that joke.
Nope.
My final thought
I drink
is,
your milk.
Hold on. You can go.
well, my final thought is I hate all of you. Except for Sam.
I'm sick of this stuff. Just throw your headset fuck off.
No. I am done with you. I'm done with your ways. I quit.
For anyone wondering, we're just messing around here.
Yes.
Are we?
Because we can.
Are we?
Oh, yeah, are we?
No, seriously, my final thoughts are these 6 games. Hopefully, they finish up strong, and I would like to see them go 5-1 at least in these 6 games. 4-2 would be all right. Just finish strong, get healthy, and then get ready for that second half push. It's going to be important because they need to start racking up some wins against some teams that they should be beating. The Flyers beat them 2-1 a couple of weeks ago. I was at that game. That was not a fun game to watch. They need to learn their lesson of how they lost that game. That was another one of those games where they had 14, 15 shots the entire game. It was just abysmal. They need to go in and make a statement. The Flyers can be had, and they just need to know it. And then finally, besides, I hate both of you, I renounce the Super Bowl. I will not be watching the Super Bowl this year because I am not watching Eagles-Chiefs Part 2. I hate the NFL right now so much. So much. I can't imagine how Bills fans feel. They've been through a lot. You think by the way, this is truly my final thought is if you ever think we've had it bad as the fan base, you're delusional. Because put yourself as a super fan of a team like the Buffalo Bills. You've been to 4 Super Bowls and you lost all 4 in a row. You've been to countless AFC championship games in recent years and you've lost those as well. Could you imagine having such a solid and really, really good team with a superstar quarterback or a superstar whoever, and you just can't win? That, my friends, is heartbreak that we will never know. Or at least our generation will never know because we got to
Hopefully
see our
we'll
team
never
win
know.
3 times.
Or Brett Hull skate in the crease.
Or
Stanley
Brett
Cup
Hull's
final.
Oh,
Crease.
wow.
Yeah.
Such
Yeah.
a loser city,
callback.
Buffalo. Yeah, such a loser city, Buffalo. Only known for their chicken wings, really.
And snow.
And then you
Get a
got
lot of
Niagara
snow.
Falls nearby where you could just jump off of after your team loses. It's just terrible.
Whoa. Sam,
Jeez.
relax.
Wait.
It's a rough
Got
night for
real dark.
Buffalo, dude.
That got
Whoa.
really
Yeah.
dark really quickly.
You know what happened? Sam one time got his heart broken in Buffalo, so he has ill will against that city. So.
Yeah.
Well, the other day, he even bypassed Old Yellering someone and just said, I'm going to take the shotgun to them. So, yeah, he hasn't been prettying it up recently here on the old shows.
Trying to get edgy. Trying to be a shock jock.
And by the way, Beer Baron, they play those Flyers twice, like you were just talking about.
Yeah, I know. They play them twice in those weird home and home games, which are so weird.
But you were saying, that's something they should have learned from. So hopefully they did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
All right, my final thoughts. Going to make an announcement, actually.
Woo!
That
Big announcement.
Yeah, so on Saturday, February 15th, there is, you've seen it online from Vic's Devils All Day, All Night group, meet and greet with Brian Rafalski at Wayne Ale House, autographs $40, 611 Ratzer Road in Wayne, between 1 to 3 p.m., again, on Saturday, February 15th. We were invited, and the podcast will be live from Wayne Ale House Saturday, February 15th, 1 to 3 p.m. So,
Awesome. And
Yeah.
we're working.
we'll
on
try.
some
We'll
surprises.
have Brian
Working on some
Rafalski on,
stuff.
obviously. So we're working on it. We're working the details. But Vic said start promoting it. I was like, all right, we'll do it. And we might have a surprise there as well, on top of Brian Rafalski.
Ooh.
buddy.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions for Brian. If you have any questions for Brian, we'll take some from you guys leading up to that event on Saturday, February 15th.
And if any one of the listeners is actually there and in person, come on up and say hi and hang out. That's for sure.
Yeah. Also, I think Wednesday's going to be a good time at the game.
I think so. I think so too.
I might dress up like a dragon.
Isn't it the year of the
crap.
snake?
It's Year of the Snake, and it's Jake Allen in net.
Yeah. Sam, this is your moment.
It is.
This
my
is
moment.
your moment.
So, do I dress like a snake?
You might have to.
I don't think.
Yeah, all right. So we good? That's
Oh, all right.
what a way to end the podcast with high energy. huh?
I didn't. I didn't interrupt your final thought.
No,
Anyway.
apparently that's what I'm good at.
Anyway,
Michael in the Facebook group, I think he says yes to you dressing up as a snake, Sam.
I'll be one big fat snake in the crowd. I'll tell you that one.
With your rice patty hat on?
Yes, triple XL.
And a shotgun, apparently.
All right, let's end this podcast. We're in overtime right now. Want to thank all those tuning in, dropping the podcast at midnight. Game Day Live and Devils After Dark tomorrow. Till next time, let's go Devils.